What is up, everybody? I am recording this immediately after my Dawn of the Planet of the Apes movie review. So here we are. So War of the Planet of the Apes takes place. I don't know how many years after. I think it's 2 or 5 years after. It's one of those two. I believe it's 5 years after the events of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and the movie takes place. Or starts off with Caesar and his family. They have a new home, a much larger home. And I forgot how. Sorry, yeah, it's a much larger home. They're like living like next to a waterfall, and the movie pretty much starts off with a battle between humans and the apes. The battle goes down, they fight, and the humans they lose. Caesar sends the humans back. It's mercy. Is like, we're not gonna kill them. We're not animals. Well, the colonel of that base, the men that shot at Caesar's apes, he goes back and he murders. Spoilers. He murders Caesar's wife and son. So now Caesar's wife and son were killed, and Caesar's left with one kid named Cornelius. So um, it's a very very rough start to the film for Caesar, definitely. So pretty much the rest of the movie is Caesar trying to retaliate. Um, his son just got back from an adventure saying like, oh, we found this very cool location far away from humans, like a desert. Humans won't be able to find us. We're golden. He comes back and he immediately gets murdered. Same with his mom. So the rest of the film, Caesar's like, you guys go to that location my son found to be safe away from the humans. I'm going to get revenge on the humans. He says he's going to go by himself, but of course, a few of the apes, Luca and Maurice, which is a really cool orangutan, they're like, we're going with you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Off starts the adventure. They're going. They're trying to find out where the colonel's at, where the military base is at, and they end up finding, this little village with two humans. So at first, the apes weren't gonna be hostile. They weren't gonna kill the dude, but the dude pulled a gun on him, and Caesar shot him with the shotgun. That's another really cool aspect. I really do enjoy these movies because just watching an ape, handle a gun is so awesome. I didn't talk about that in my last review, but watching an ape use a gun and ride horses is just super cool. So Caesar kills that man, and it turns out he has a daughter that doesn't speak. It looks like she is ill. She has something wrong with her. She can't speak. You learn a little bit more about that later. The adventure continues, and they stumble upon this, looks like an abandoned zoo. And in this abandoned zoo, you find another chimp who is dubbed Bad Ape, voiced by Steven Zahn. Really cool, addition to the movie. He's kind of like the comedic relief. He ends up knowing where the colonel lives, where the base is at. So he takes him there. Caesar gets trapped. His whole, tribe, his whole family, ape family, gets trapped as well. Because what happened was the colonel actually found their herd, traveling to a new location, trapped them. So pretty much the movie wraps up in the next half hour. They plan an escape plan. And Caesar talks to the colonel. Turns out the colonel has enemies on their way, another military base. The rest of the U.S. military, pretty much. Caesar finds that out, and the colonel's impressed, knowing that Caesar was able to put that together. He's like, "You're a smart ape. You're very, very smart." So pretty much, Caesar gets trapped with the three other apes that weren't with Caesar plus a human. They're on the outside of this base, so that they plan escape. They're able to dig tunnels, get under the base, and they get pretty much one day. They are able to get every single ape out, and Caesar goes to kill the colonel, and the colonel fell ill. I guess the virus that killed all the humans in the previous movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it evolved over the last like 10, 15 years, and it pretty much made the humans incapable of speaking, and it pretty much turns them primitive. So Caesar sees that, and he's going to shoot the colonel to get revenge, and he chooses not to. He's like, I'm gonna let this guy suffer because he killed my family. And Caesar puts the gun down, but the colonel ends up himself. So that's pretty much where the movie wraps up. As soon as like the colonel shoots himself, or he's about to, the other military base pulls up with all these tanks, all these weapons, and all hell breaks loose. They start a war. They're fighting, and then pretty much, the military base Caesar was captured and gets absolutely whooped. They lose, and then there's like hundreds of soldiers just left, maybe even thousands of soldiers just left in this battlefield, and an avalanche occurs. Luckily, all the apes climb up trees and they're able to escape it, but every single military soldier just gets absolutely just demolished, right? Demolished. They all die. So pretty much for them, that's like the rest of the humans that are alive. Well, he wraps up. They travel to the location his son found, and you find out that Caesar, he did get shot by a bow and arrow, or a crossbow, and you see that Caesar, it's a pretty fatal wound, and he dies. The movie ends with Caesar dying and them getting to the land that they wanted to get to. So it's really cool because Maurice, who really he's the orangutan. He never he rarely speaks in the film, but he has a few sentences. He's like, Cornelius will know who Caesar was, what Caesar did, who he is, stuff like that. So movie ends right there. It's a real sad note, but overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Honestly, in my eyes, these movies got better every single movie. Rise, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was better than that, and then War of the Planet of the Apes was better than Dawn. So overall, I enjoyed the movie. Honestly, um, pretty good movie. What would I change about it? Maybe just more fight scenes, I guess. I love how Caesar and all the other apes just talk more and more throughout the movies. It's really cool watching them develop. But that's where the movie wraps up. It's pretty much the end of an era for Caesar. Watching him in this trilogy is very emotional, watching him die. But overall, I did enjoy the film. And I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.